Shalom, shalom. This is Shalamar from the Great Millstone Atlanta Camp. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rahakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone. They teach and rule well, peace, love, and safety to the hopeful elect. And today is February the 19th, 2026. The year of the Apostates and Jacob's trouble. So things are getting hot over, even more hot in the Middle East. Of course, it's war going on with Iran and the Israelis. But the United States is jumping in also. And Trump's basically saying he's going to get him like a 10-day something to reach a deal. You already blew up their what you think were their nuclear facilities. Why are you trying to make deals? That was already war. So I don't understand Babylon the Great, which is America. You go out, you start shit, and then like, all right, let's talk peace. It ain't no peace. You out there already. That's like somebody slap you in the face, like, hey man, I think we need to be cool now. No, they have not gotten they lick back. So this is holding it in. With war, you gotta use strategy, and both sides are using strategy right now. Iran already said this is going to be the end of the United States. China and Russia is going to jump in. That's part of prophecy in Ezekiel 38. But I wanted to start out with this Isaiah 14 and verse 4. It says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how had the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased, and this place is about to cease real soon. All right, you still have the war in heaven that's going to happen, where the angels are going to take down those space stations and what do they call it, the Space Force. They're going to take all of that stuff down. All right. The United States is going to be, not looking as strong as a matter of fact, it's like that now. Let's continue to read verse 5. The Lord Yahweh had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He had ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hinder it. So yeah, when this place finally go down, people they're actually gonna rejoice, as the next couple of scriptures say. All right, but yeah, the main thing I wanted to get was it says somewhere the hammer of the earth. All right, that's us talk going back our own land, and that shows you right there how close we are to going back home. Because Babylon has to be taken down first. And this is the beginning of Babylon being taken down. So yeah, I messed over the scriptures. I'm probably looking right over it where it talks about the hammer of the earth. Okay, that's actually in Jeremiah 50. I could have sworn it was in Isaiah. Jeremiah 50 and 23, it says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? So Babylon, America, which is America, is going to be the only land that's going to be completely desolate. The other lands are going to be built back up, but America is going to be. They say it's a desolate wilderness. And these other countries, they know they ready. They ready. You got China, Russia, North Korea, Iran. And then you're going to have NATO turning on America, which we see that coming down too. It's just going to be the U.S. and the Israelis standing together, and both are going to be taken out. Now, the land of Israel is going to be built back up. It's not going to be completely destroyed, but America, this place is not coming back from what's about to happen to it. And this is Bible prophecy. All right? And let me just put it out there. The prophets, the men of the Lord, to prophesy just means to say before. We're letting you know what's about to happen. We're not taking part in the physical destruction of America. We're on the spiritual side. All right. Physically, of course, the Lord is in control of all, but it's going to be these other nations. Okay. Now, they talking about they need to join this peace. Let me see. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. And in verse 3 it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travaileth upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." So yeah, they trying to have these peace talks. They're trying to have these peace talks, but it's gonna turn into war. It's gonna be a sudden destruction. Everything's gonna happen fast. You have no idea how fast the dollar can collapse. Watch these post-apocalyptic movies and see how everything went down. I believe it's I forgot the name of the movie. I think it's How It Ends or something like that. As soon as like the cell phones died and people didn't have any money, it was like every man for himself. It didn't take no time. That's gonna happen in America. That's what Jacob trouble is. In these other countries, they already got America set up to do that. The Americans just don't see it. As a matter of fact, let's go to Obadiah, where it says, verse 7. It says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him." So yeah, these other nations that were at peace, just like the scriptures say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction. These other nations that were at peace with the United States, that were at peace with Esau, Edom, because this whole thing is about Esau, Edom. Verse 1, the vision of Obadiah. "Thus said the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise and let us rise up to her in battle." So that's what it's all about. All the heathens are gonna be at war with Edom. When you go to Job 20, it says, every hand of the wicked shall be upon them. Like, this is, if you're not in this truth, this is not good for you. This is only good news. As a matter of fact, when you read Matthew 24, and it talks about the wars and rumors of wars and all of that stuff, and then it says, "This gospel shall be preached." So this is good news to us that's looking forward to the kingdom. But those that still stuck in this world and got their head up Babylon's ass, you the ones that's going to get caught off guard and destroyed. This is bad news for you, because your world is ending. And I ain't talking about just the Edomites. I'm talking about the Israelites too. You Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans that refuse to hearken unto the voice of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right. I wanted to get something else. It'll come to me, but I wanted to get this article real quick. This is The Guardian, and it says Trump warns bad things will happen if they fail to make a meaningful nuclear deal. So I thought he blew up their facilities. That lets you know how this devil works. He went over there and said he blew up their facilities where they can't make nukes, but now he's trying to reach a deal about nuclear. They not gonna reach a deal. They already said they in full-fledged war with United States and NATO, but NATO is not really making a move. It says Trump warns that bad things will happen if they fail to make a meaningful deal and appears to set 10-day deadline for U.S. military action. So if they don't do something within 10 days, United States is going to jump in. But you know what? They already said they prepared to start sinking these warships that the U.S. has brought over in that area. It says Donald Trump has warned Iran that I already read that during the first border peace meeting, Trump said negotiations with Iran were going well, but insisted that Tehran has to reach a meaningful agreement, otherwise bad things will happen, he said. Trump spoke of the airstrikes the U.S. carried in June on Iran's nuclear facilities, claiming that the country's nuclear potential had been decimated. No, it hasn't, because they got allies backing them as well. It says we may have to take it a step further, or we may not, he said, hinting that he could make a decision very soon. So there you go. Real soon, United States going to jump in this war. Russia already said no. Russia, I believe China and Russia said it, if I'm not mistaken. But I know for sure Russia said that United States do not jump in this war. They made it clear Putin is ready to he's ready to hit that button. But of course, before those missiles start flying, we got to have World War III. But it's going to end with the decimation of America. All right. So that's pretty much all I wanted to bring out. Things are just getting more hot and more hot over there. And, Trump speaking very proudly, saying he's going to do something within 10 days. He's not going to wait 10 days. They're not going to wait 10 days. Or they still have to do more strategy thinking on how both sides are going to start this thing out. Because if you just jump into a war without, going into a deep thought about it, you lose. But these other countries, I think they already got it figured out. We'll see. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Pray that this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us his truth. Shalom to the elect.